Okay, I'm just going to put something short on. Basically, while I was looking into Conan Doyle, the information about Cream just seemed to come into my mind. So I googled him, and he was there in 1878 at the same time as Bell and Doyle. So Cream said he was Jack before he dropped. Now he was supposed to have an accomplice, which, if it's right, and I don't know if it's right, that's why I'm asking for help here, because it's a theory, and if anybody knows the truth, the person that come up on the internet that was of interest to me, because there was a few, was Tumblety. Now he was at the a suspect in the Jack the Ripper crimes. Now the connection for that is America. Cream was Scottish born Canadian. You had Tumblety, who was also, he was Irish born American, which fits into my theory, because Cream could not have been involved in the Jack the Ripper case because he was in prison in America. But the interesting thing is, he was supposed to have a double. He used a double in his crimes or whatever he was doing. So if he had a double, was it his double? And if that double was Tumblety, that puts his double at the crime. Now I believe if Cream was arrested and put in prison, Tumblety needed another accomplice, and that's where I'm getting the Crippen case. Was Crippen the accomplice for Tumblety because he needed one? Tumblety and Cream were lookalikes, and now I've seen a picture, and hopefully it was a proper picture of Tumblety, and when you look at Cream, they're very similar. Now they only had a drawing. There was when they were looking into the Batty Street and doing surveillance, there was a picture of Tumblety and then a drawing. Why would you need a drawing? Because they didn't know who the accomplice was, in my theory. Now, and I think that this was Dr. Crippen, and there was a size difference and an age difference, but you can hide them with clothes, and basically he was wearing the same clothes as what Tumblety was wearing, but to give him an alibi and say he was somewhere else, he needed an accomplice, and he used him to go into the East End, so he could say he was in the East End when he wasn't, wherever he was. And that's where I've got that from. But that's the end of the case. Where the Llewellyn Code was used, which is a code I've explained in the previous one. Llewellyn, when Crippen tried to escape, there was on the SS Montrose, there was a ship to shore message. It was sensationalised in the press, like the first victim in Jack the Ripper, and they used the name Llewellyn. Now that was the code. The man that sent the signal, the radio operator or telegraph operator, his name was Llewellyn, and that fits my theory in code. So I'll present that more when I get to it, but that's the Llewellyn Code. Llewellyn was the last real King of Wales. he was the last real Prince of Wales. I know Uncle and Stuart and all that lot, but no, he was the last Prince of Wales. So I believe that's the Jack in the code. Jack, the pack of cards, the Prince. So the Prince to the police. Jack in German. Jack in German is boob, pronounced Bobby. So that code, when they say Jack, is Jack to Bobby. Bobby, these are my orders. So every letter, it wasn't to scare people. Well, it was, but it was to scare people and send the information on what he wanted the crime scene to look like. The next time I'll clip the ears, and that's the next one. Ears clipped. That corroborated the letters, but it was the orders. So, well, and that's my theory. There was supposedly a prince involved, but I think they maybe got the wrong one. But it's, like I say, it's just my theory. Please fact check, and if anybody can rectify what I've just said, then please do so. Thank you.